Have you ever felt like someone was watching you in the dead of night? Or heard stories of people who drink blood, avoid sunlight, and never seem to age? What if I told you these aren't just elements of fiction, but actual claims made by people across the world? Welcome to the Grim Tapes. Today, we are plunging into the chilling accounts of real vampire sightings. This isn't Twilight or Dracula. These are stories whispered through generations, documented in eerie police reports, and even investigated by paranormal experts. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear may blur the line between legend and reality. 1. The origins of the vampire legend. To understand modern vampire sightings, we must begin with where it all started. The vampire myth is ancient, rooted in different cultures. In Eastern Europe, particularly in Romania and Serbia, tales of the dead rising to drink the blood of the living go back centuries. These vampires were not elegant or romantic. They were bloated, decaying corpses with blood dripping from their mouths. Even earlier, the Mesopotamians spoke of demonic creatures like the Akimu and the Lilu, spirits that fed off the life force of the living. The idea of a blood-drinking entity has haunted humanity for thousands of years. 2. Vampire panics in history. Between the 18th and 19th centuries, Europe experienced what historians now refer to as vampire panics. Entire villages exhumed corpses to stake them through the heart, burn their remains, or remove their heads. In New England, the Mercy Brown incident in Rhode Island showed that even Americans once believed in vampires. Mercy died of tuberculosis, but when her family fell ill, villagers believed she was rising from the grave to drain their life. Her body was exhumed, her heart burned, and the ashes were mixed into a tonic for her brother to drink. This was not just superstition, it was fear so real it drove people to desecrate graves. 3. Modern sightings from around the world. Let's step out of the past and into the now. Across the globe, people have reported encounters with vampire-like beings. In Mexico, reports from rural towns describe pale, shadowy figures that stalk the streets at night. In New Orleans, Louisiana, locals whisper about the Carter brothers, a pair of 1930s siblings rumored to have abducted and fed on multiple victims. Their story became so infamous that even after their execution, people claimed to have seen them roaming the French Quarter. And in England, the Highgate vampire terrorized Londoners in the 1970s, sparking a media frenzy. 4. Real people who claim to be vampires. There's an entire subculture of individuals who identify as real vampires. Some claim to feed on blood, willingly given by donors. Others say they feed on energy, draining the life force from others to survive. Many of these people insist they are not supernatural creatures, but that their condition is biological or psychological. In places like New Orleans and New York, vampire communities have formed, complete with ethics, rules, and hidden identities. It's a bizarre blend of belief, science, and darkness. 5. Scientific and psychological explanations. Can science explain any of this? Some experts believe vampirism could be linked to rare diseases. Porphyria, for instance, can cause sensitivity to sunlight, fanged teeth, and severe anemia. Others point to schizophrenia, delusions, or the influence of pop culture. But these explanations don't cover everything. What about the eyewitness reports of strangers who vanish without a trace, or the stories of victims found drained of blood with no explanation? 6. The paranormal investigations. Over the years, paranormal investigators have tried to capture evidence of vampire activity. They use EMF detectors, thermal cameras, and spirit boxes to explore graveyards and old houses. Some claim success, unexplained sounds, images of shadowy figures, sudden drops in temperature. Are these the ghosts of vampires? Or are the vampires themselves lingering among us, forever bound to the darkness? 7. Cultural obsession and the modern myth. Why are we so obsessed with vampires? From books and movies to video games and TV shows, vampires have dominated pop culture. But could this fascination be more than entertainment? Is it possible that our collective obsession is rooted in something primal, a genetic memory of an ancient predator? Or is it simply a metaphor for our fear of death and desire for eternal life? 8. Shocking cases that defy logic. Let's explore some recent cases that defy all logic. A man in Turkey reported being attacked by a figure who bit into his neck and left him unconscious. Doctors were baffled by the wounds. In Eastern Europe, multiple deaths in one village were blamed on a returning vampire, despite no medical explanation. In Australia, a group of teenagers was arrested after performing a ritual meant to summon and become vampires. These are not stories from centuries ago, these are modern incidents. 9. Vampires in other cultures. Every culture has its vampire. The Aswang in the Philippines, the Jiangshi in China, the Strigoi in Romania, and the Lugaru in the Caribbean. These beings are eerily similar, feeding on blood, shape-shifting, haunting the night. How did so many cultures across different continents develop such similar myths? Could there be a shared truth behind them? So what do we make of all this? Are vampires real, hiding in plain sight? Are they supernatural predators, misunderstood humans, or ancient symbols of fear and power? The truth may be more complex than we're ready to accept. If you've made it this far, you're clearly someone who doesn't shy away from the dark. So, what do you believe? Are vampires just myth and metaphor, or is there something truly sinister hiding in our history and even in our world today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever seen something, or someone, you couldn't explain? Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed this deep dive into the shadowy world of real vampire sightings. Subscribe to the Grim Tapes for more terrifying truths and unsolved mysteries. And hit the bell icon so you don't miss what's lurking in the darkness.